think so. I don't know. Hey. Psst. Guys, anybody? Hello? Anybody out there? You guys ready to get going for this week? Yeah? What? My mom called? Okay, tell her I'll be right there. All right, who's ready for the final installment of Inappropriate Emotions, guy? Ready? Okay, let's roll it. Yeah, I'll take it in my office.
Alex, you know that I love you more than anything else in the world. You're my son and I'm proud of you, and I would do anything for you.
Thank you.
I have something to tell you now that may be a little hard to hear. I know since you were a little boy, I told you that I was an astronaut. That was a lie. Actually, I'm a flight attendant. I'm so sorry that I lied to you all these years.
Well, actually, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, every time we fly, you always know all the people on the plane, and you're always mouthing the emergency instructions before we take off. It's really annoying.
Wow, you're taking this rather well. A little too well. I'm actually hurt.
You'll be okay with time.
Oh, and by the way, we're having pasta tonight instead of steak.
Whoa. No steak?
No, your mom didn't get a chance to go to the store, but we'll have it another night.
Well, no steak? I mean, why wouldn't you tell me we're not having steak? My world is crashing down around me right now. I don't even know who you are anymore. I mean, who am I? This is so much to handle. I mean, my head is spinning. Oh, it hurts. It hurts.
Oh, man. That one hit a little too close to home, if you know what I mean. My dad said he was an astronaut, too. But he only worked in mission control. Oh, the deceit. Okay. All right, D, pull it together, dude. Pull it together for the kids. Okay. Now that we're past that, welcome to the fourth and final week of the Switch experience on emotions. And I gotta say, I feel like we have learned a ton in the last month. First, we learned that when it comes to emotions, there's nothing to be afraid of. Emotions are just the combinations of things that we think and feel when something happens to us. That means that emotions aren't good or bad, they are just what they are. It's how we respond to them that matters. But for us to do that, we've got to learn how to identify our emotions, to try to identify how we feel. We do this by slowing down and maybe even journaling how we're feeling. Then, two of the best steps we can take in starting to deal with our emotions is to tell others about them and then also think about how God feels about us. Now, there might be a lot of other stuff we have to do after that, but that's a great start. But that's all about us and our emotions. We also have to deal with the emotions of others. I mean, every day our friends and family and other people are showing us their emotions whether we recognize it or not. So this week, we're going to talk about how we need to respond to other people's emotions. And we're going to start doing that with a quiz. I think it's a really great thing when other people show their emotions. Now, granted, sometimes it can be a little bit scary. In fact, when I was a little kid, I remember getting really weirded out when people would show their emotions. You know, they would start crying and I wouldn't know what to say, so I wouldn't say anything, or I would just try to get out of the conversation as fast as possible. Or sometimes they'd get really angry with me, and actually, well, then I would, just try to run. But the point is, over time, I began to see that other people showing their emotions were really helpful signs to me, kind of like we talked about last week. But instead of being signs as to what was going on inside of me, they were really helpful signs that something was going on inside of them that I needed to pay attention to. I mean, seriously, can you imagine if we lived in a world where we had no clue what other people were feeling? I mean, what if people could, tell us how they were feeling, but there was nothing in their voice or on their face to indicate their emotion? Can you imagine if nobody had any way of showing how they were feeling? Well, it might look a little something like this.
Hey Rachel, I'm so glad you're here. As you can tell from the look on my face, I'm so sad right now.
What happened, Brian? You can't tell your big sister anything.
Lisa broke up with me. My heart is broken. I've spent the last hour in the men's room quietly sobbing.
Oh no. Oh Brian. That's terrible.
I'm just so angry. I feel like I could crush a beautiful pony with the sheer force of my anger. Look at me. I'm practically shaking with rage.
What did she say?
She said I'm just not that into you. My world has been turned upside down. I know I look tough, but inside I'm very fragile. This is what it sounds like when doves cry.
I'm so sorry, little brother. My heart hurts for you. Is there anything I can do?
Not right now, but thanks. I think I'll just go eat some butterscotch pudding and drown my sorrows in the delicious pudding.
What is it that gives us the ability to feel what other people are feeling? Well, I think it's a gift from God. I mean, there is so much you can do when you pay attention to the facial expressions or the body language of somebody that you're talking to. I mean, they might be saying one thing, but their facial expressions and body language might be telling you something completely different. Might be telling you there's something deeper going on inside of them. I mean, what a gift that is, right? Isn't that amazing that God has given us our face and our body to help show people what we might be feeling inside, even if we're saying something completely different? But I think the real gift is that when we really take the time to look in somebody's face when they're talking to us, to really take the time to hear their story, to hear what's going on in their life that's making them feel a certain way, the crazy thing is we begin to feel the same emotions that they're feeling. This gift is called empathy. Empathy is just a word that means we feel something along with somebody else. We feel what they feel. That can be really powerful. Why? Well, I think God made us this way so that we can be connected to other people through what we're feeling. There's a guy in the Bible named Paul, and he wrote a ton of letters to a lot of the earliest followers of Jesus, teaching them how to be like Christ and how to live in a way that God made them to live. And in one of the letters, he was writing to a bunch of followers in the city of Rome, and he said this, he said, "Rejoice with those who rejoice, and weep with those who weep." Man, that is powerful stuff. Paul understood this idea of empathy. And I think one of the reasons that God made us this way, and the reason that Paul was so big on this idea of empathy, is that when we feel what other people are feeling, it inspires us to do something. I mean, think about it. If somebody you know is celebrating a huge victory in their life, like they just graduated college, and you're feeling so happy for them, you're feeling that empathy, that inspires you to want to do something like throw them a party. Or if somebody you know is really, really sad, and you feel that sadness along with them, that inspires you to want to write them a note of encouragement or buy them a small gift or serve them in some way. But empathy can do powerful things in us even if we don't know the other person. You know, sometimes just seeing an image can cause us to feel what they feel, to experience the emotion that they're experiencing, and to inspire us to want to do something about it. In fact, in just a minute, we're going to put an image up on the screen. I'm not going to tell you who the person is or what's going on in the picture. But what I want you to do is practice empathy. Practice what Paul talks about. All Christ followers should do is feeling the emotion of another person. And then here's what I want you to do is I want you to just write a real short story about what you think is going on in this image. Write as many details as you can. And then after that, write down if you're inspired to maybe do something about it. You're going to have about 3 or 4 minutes to do that, and then we're going to come back up here. You ready? Here it is. Well, way to go, you guys. Way to practice empathy, practice feeling what somebody else is feeling. I mean, that is a gift from God that He's given us so that we can feel connected to other people. You know, we've learned throughout this entire series that emotions can be really, really powerful things, but we don't need to be afraid of them. I mean, now we know where emotions come from. We're getting better at learning how to recognize our emotions and see what they're trying to tell us. And now we even have a few practical tools to help us deal with our own emotions. And now after this 4th week, we have one of the most powerful tools of all, empathy. Well, I just gotta say, I have had so much fun doing this over the last 4 weeks with you. Thanks so much for letting me hang out. And I just wanna pray that you would begin to understand how God feels about you, how much He loves and cares for you. And I pray that as you begin to understand His love that is so big, it's almost unthinkable, that it would change the way that you feel. Change the way you feel about yourself, about others, and about the world. And I pray that as God has blessed you, that you would be a blessing to others.